2019 CBR600RR.
Previous owner, you know, just I wrecked it, you know. Clearly my wonderful work here. Let me show you the
the accident.
Injuries. Yeah.
Yeah, let me see that.
Bone popped out here. This is where the surgeon had to cut me up, throw in a couple of plates on both bones. I got a plate on this wrist.
Are there plates still in there?
Yeah.
Oh man, so they got to cut you back open.
And then I got this
man,
gnarly scar, stitches. The only the worst part about it,
interesting,
as far as my injuries go, is if you look at the tank here, you can see where my hit the tank.
This header is completely mangled right here.
Yeah, no,
that's
the header's the
two keys. No. Cool.
Yeah, those keys.
Can you see the mileage on it if you switch through this?
You can't. It's
8.12.
There's 15,000.
Yeah,
roughly. Yeah. You know, if you round it up, but bike still starts up. You know, just for a second.
Yeah, chop it.
Just to show that it runs. There's no
cool. Yeah.
There's still oil, but there's no coolant. So
thing is, when you drop them, you know they're always running when they crash. So I've never bought anything that's been wrecked that has a motor issue or anything on it.
Yeah, exactly.
I got the 2019 CBR back here in the warehouse, and I got a couple of parts in already. I went through the whole list, ordered everything I needed for this bike. I got a real cool fairing kit going on it. But I pretty much, the things that are here right now, I have a new radiator for it, all aluminum radiator. I have the OEM headers, and it still has this OEM slip-on exhaust, which I'm gonna end up keeping. New fuel tank, new set of forks, front wheel, subframe tray, all brand new, OEM. And the first thing I'm gonna be doing is jacking up the front of this bike and getting it so I can remove these forks and then set it up on the stands via the forks, then pull the headers off the bike. Let's get into it. Every underglow kit I've ever had on a street bike is just completely a hack job put on there. This kid actually really cared about the quality of stuff. Look at how he put these strips on, ran them together, then put these tie downs with a zip tie on each one of them. And then every connection on this bike has double heat shrink on it. The guy actually, he was an airplane mechanic and he really cared about the quality of his work. I love to see that. Look at that. Look at that puppy. Oh yeah, this one's sliding right out. That's a good look. Oh yeah. This front wheel off, and that puppy is smoked, dude. Just front end smoked bikes lately. And yeah, look at that. All the spokes some of the spokes are missing. Just the way it kind of crushed in. These forks are absolutely nuts how they broke. I'm gonna pull the rotors off of this, pop it on that new wheel. Now what I'm gonna do is pull off all of this Ricky Suave, interesting wiring going on with it. It's really not Ricky Suave, it's actually really nice, check all that out. But I'm gonna pull all this underglow off the bike. For me to get all this wiring off, I'm gonna have to pull the tank, and then I'm also gonna pull this tray, because I have the new tray right there. Pop that thing in also. Well, I just removed the rear plastic tray. I actually re-hooked this up with some new stainless steel hardware. But I took this tray off and I was gonna pop the new one in right away, but I'm actually gonna leave it off because I have to put the new headers on it because these headers are all damaged. So it's gonna make it a little bit easier, getting access to this. And then if I have to, adjust the slip on and whatnot, I'll have a little bit more access to it. So I'm gonna end up just leaving this off in the meantime, then coming back over here and messing with the radiator. So I'm gonna pop this radiator off here. Now you guys can get a good look at what it looks like in there. Check that out. Yeah, that radiator is completely just warped around the headers, and then the headers themselves are all jacked up.
Oh, yeah, so there's only 2 lines for this radiator, then, you know, pop off these 10 millimeters on the top, and I gotta get these fans off and put them on the new one. And I still got some of this stuff laying around. What's this still doing here? Check out how smoked that unit is. Man.
Now next thing to do is going to be get these headers off the bike, which is going to be a problem in its own because these headers are so crushed in there that I can't even get to this 10 millimeter on the backside of those center two. So I'll probably just be wrenching it, little, you know, flipping the wrench. All right, so check that out right there. This is why it took so long to take these off, that those are crushed in there right on the header. So I was sitting there for a long time just cranking those off. I got the rear tray here, gonna pop that in. I got this little piece here that hooks in at the front of it. And then, you know, rerun all the wiring, hook that all up. BM rear tail light here, it just kind of sits in this plastic tray, gets held in 2 points right there. Then we got turn signals, pop those in, run the wiring through here, ready to rock and roll. All right, so we're making some big progress. I got the tank cover on the bike. I also got some red Honda emblems to go right here. I pieced together the side belly fairing, even though I can't mount it up because I think I need the front piece on. I might be able to mount it up, but before I could do that, I have to start the bike up, go, flush the coolant, also put some oil inside the bike. So I think there's no oil filter either. Yeah, I need to go get an oil filter too. It's all banged up. So yeah, this will end up looking real nice, dude. Shark bike, shark haircut, looking good. Now, before I get to doing any of that, I need to start the bike up when I flush the coolant. So we're gonna hit this tank cap with the master lock. This is a little master key if you guys didn't know, right here, if you're ever trying to unlock a bike. Good old flathead. There we go. Decals to go right here on the tank in the red to match the whole theme of this bike. The gauge cluster for the CBR600, and it had a broken piece in it, is this little LCD, like the odometer itself worked, this turned on, but you see a little crack in it. It made it so the LCD screen wasn't, fully reading out in that area where the issue is. So I ordered for $80 online, this little LCD screen. So we're gonna pop it in there. I'll show you guys a little process. Reassemble this cluster back together, and we're gonna hook it in the bike, and hopefully that ends up working. I've never done this before, but it seems to be a pretty, just clean cut process. I got my headlight assembly, my tip over sensor, gauge cluster, upper stay, lower stay, all pieced together right here. This just, 4 bolts here, bolt on each side there. Headlight gets held into this assembly with 2 bolts right here. Tip over sensor faces this way with 2 bolts, but I can't find the other bolt right here that hold it on. Little clip sits there, and then this will loop around and clip through that piece like that, then plug in. Bike won't start without that. I already plugged this in to make sure that the gauge cluster works. And the main thing, and it does, it's sweet. Actually has 14,000 miles on it. The guy said it had 15. And it's important when you're putting it back together that the needle right there sits right at 0 when it cycles through, because you can mess that up and let it run the whole thing. So now I need to mount it up here, which gets held in. So this whole assembly piece gets held in with 2 10 millimeters on each side, but I need to be able to move the steering around to get to those, and I have to mount my front wheel up So I got my front wheel, my brand new front wheel with the rotors on it, and then I found out that the, what is this, left side rotor was bent, so I'm gonna pop that rotor. When I put it on the machine to balance it, left side rotor was bent, so I'm gonna pop this new one on that I ordered, and then put the wheel on the bike. Then I can mount this puppy up right here. So. Next thing I do is pop on this front fairing. And one little piece right here gets held in with 2 bolts, 2 screws, and then you got some retainer clips for your nut end right there, or whatever you want to call it. Pop this thing on there, should go pretty smooth. The bike is done, and I recorded this section here so I can show you my cool little setup. I got my nice little stump, cool chairs, background that's trendy right now with this little grass. Got my built from the bomb sign. I haven't shown much of this warehouse because it's not done. We're still remodeling the upstairs of it, but the bike is done. It's right there. I got fairings in for the GSX-R1000. That's gonna be the next video. Right here's that unit. Pan to it real quick, dude. Don't stay over there too long. Can't show them everything. My boy also got me something for Christmas right here. Nice tool chest, so I can put all my like paints and all like the ugly stuff that you know you want to keep out of sight inside the cabinet, so it's not like, you know, out on the shelf like that, even though that shelf right there is gonna have a whole bunch of stuff on it. But this place is coming out really, really nice. I'm putting a lot of thought into this. So this is the unit. We kept her stock, you know, it came with the ABS levers on it, which are really nice levers. But other than like the bike mechanically being stock, it's just cosmetic, you know, a little red decal on it, and then these aftermarket fairings. Kept the stock exhaust on this unit. And yeah, gave her a little startup. We got 14,000 miles on it. This gauge cluster with that LCD replaced, check out that. Boom, it's working now. Fixed that $400 gauge cluster for $90. I'll give you a little startup, even though, you know, she's just a stock unit. Still sounds good because it's a 600. Yeah, look at this thing, good looking bike. I know when that kid, when I bought it and started it up, it was rattling, but it's because all the headers were all messed up on it. But yeah, we're gonna hop on this unit, and get a couple rollers, and we'll be done for the video. Yeah, this thing won't even start. It's going back inside. Did you show the sprockets?
No.
You know, this might just be a clip of a video of a bike that never gets done. Look at the sprockets. Yo, there's like no teeth in them. Hopefully we can make this thing nice. Doesn't have any rear brakes. Cut the video.